Merry Christmas. Ross, this is Wendy. We're both pastors here. And this happens to be our beautiful little granddaughter. And we actually have a couple other kids who are supposed to be joining us. They agreed to be a part of something. Come on.
Yeah.
If you're here.
George,
Charlie, come on.
Yeah. Come
Lorelei.
on. Lorelei. Yay. All righty.
Come on up.
Now,
you can come up on stage.
Where? Okay. Do any of you guys like gifts or presents?
Me.
You do. Okay, good. Okay, well, we have little gifts for you. Some are hidden. You see them?
I see one up there.
Oh, that is fantastic. That's fantastic. So, without dumping over the tree, how can you guys get those gifts? Can you try to reach for them? Lorelei, what do you think?
No,
it would be hard. Well, maybe that would work.
We try that?
Ellie, how would you reach for that?
That's a good idea. Here. No. I'll do it.
Yeah, because sometimes.
Right there? Right where?
They're just too far out of the reach, aren't they, Lorelei? Yeah, they're just too high. Yeah, see if Ross can do it. Oh, well, he does need a stool.
Let's see.
Here he goes. Yeah.
We got one.
Woo.
We got two.
When you sit down, sure. Yeah. Because what we
got
know.
three, and so far I'm not knocking anything else off the tree.
There you go, Lorelei, yay.
And we got
Ellie.
4.
It's yours? Yeah. So what we... Ooh, you'll have to find out later, just a second. So anyway, the point is that there are sometimes gifts that we have that we cannot reach on our own. Not even Ross, he's a little bit taller. Sometimes they're just out of reach, right?
They are out of reach.
You guys, thank you. Great
Thank you.
job. Merry
fun.
Christmas. You guys can go sit down.
Give me 5. Give me 5.
Awesome. Hey, Ellie.
All right, give me 5.
Here you go, find Mama.
So, what are some of the things you've reached for in life, but you couldn't reach? So you used some ridiculous makeshift tool or some crazy gymnastic move to make it happen. So maybe who has done something like this? Anybody here done that before in the store? Yeah, to read stuff?
Anyone?
Yeah. So this is actually the reason you have kids on this next one, right? How many of you have done that with your kids, right? They're an extension of you. It works really good. You know, like the Christmas tree, often what we want in life is out of reach. We need a ladder. So I want you to take just a moment and picture something in your mind or in your heart that you've always wanted. Maybe it's more than a thing. Maybe it's a dream. Maybe it's a hope that you're just trying to get to, but no matter what you do, you just can't seem to reach it. It's just a little bit too far out of your grasp.
Yeah. So things being out of reach pull on some of our deeper longings, especially at Christmas, right? Christmas has that ability to bring longings like nothing else. And we find ourselves more aware of things that we've lost. We're especially aware of those whose absence leaves an ache and a hole for us. So this year, this longing led me to rewatch the ending of that classic 1992 movie, A River Runs Through It. Anyone's favorite? Robert Redford's voice, he narrates this final scene of the main character who's now older, and he's fly fishing on the same river that he used to with those that he loved, but they are no longer here. And so he says, now nearly all those I loved and did not understand in my youth are dead, but I still reach out to them. And this ending gets me every time. This longing, this reaching out for those who are gone. We're navigating all the hole that they've left. And God never created us for loss. He never created us for death. He created us for deep relational connection, which is why an even deeper longing is felt. It's often lingering underneath the surface, but it's a sense of restlessness because we have a need for a divine connection. And we learn over time that, that money or things or achievements, even human relationships cannot fill this longing. The 1600s French mathematician Blaise Pascal said, every person is born with a God-shaped hole, an emptiness that only God can fill. And it's why St. Augustine prayed to God, and he said, our heart is restless until it rests in you.
Isn't that profound? We are restless until we find our rest in God. Until we live for what we were made for, we're going to tend to rotate between despair and dissatisfaction. And that's because a gap was made when the first human listened to a voice other than God's and obeyed it. All humankind was separated from God, causing us to try all kinds of things to reach over this gap a gap we can never reach over no matter how many ladders we try to put there. How many of you know there's something called the Ladder Association, and they actually have an annual contest. People send pictures in to get the Idiots on Ladders award every year. So how about this one? You put a ladder, and then you put another ladder, and you put some books on top of it, and then you put a board, and then you put another board on another. That looks really safe, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah? Or maybe a metal ladder against electric highline wires is better. And the reason they didn't win the competition is because there was nobody in the picture, but there was probably nobody in the picture because they were electrocuted or on the way to the morgue, one of the two, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And this one, I mean, what is going on here? That guy working on the air conditioning, he must really trust his friends not to move, right? Now, some of you may not think that some of these ladder moves are that crazy because maybe you've done some of them, but that is very concerning on many levels, okay? But especially if we are going to apply this to our lives, because we all have a gap, and in order to fill this gap, we use all kinds of ladders. And maybe we use other ladders and other ways to fill this gap because we are just not convinced yet that Jesus is real. Or maybe we are convinced that Jesus is real, but there's a gap between what we believe about God and what we are experiencing of Him. We may know that we're saved, we may have a right theology around salvation, but we struggle to really know that we are loved by Him. Or we believe that God never leaves us, but we don't experience Him intervening in ways that show us that He is there with us.
So it's fascinating. The Apostle Paul was talking to people in Athens who were steeped in all kinds of philosophies and religions. They even had an idol titled the Unknown God because they just wanted to cover all their bases, right? Kind of a smart idea, but they knew there was a gap in their souls. And they were reaching for something, but they didn't know which path was right. After listening to their beliefs, to all their various ladders, Paul helped them see how they were ignorant of the very thing they worship. Paul explained how the God who made the world could not be built by human hands. In other words, there's no statue of a God, idol of a God that makes any sense at all when you're talking about God as the ultimate source of life and all goodness. And then he goes on to share how this God gives everyone life and breath and everything else. 100% of who we are, everything we have comes from Him. And God did this, it says, so that they would seek Him and perhaps reach out to Him and find Him, though He is not far from any one of us. Paul knew their hearts, and he knows our hearts are restless until we find our rest in God.
So if we looked again at ladders from that idiots competition, maybe we discover that our attempts to reach and bridge this gap looks a little bit more like this. Right? I mean, how many layers of ladders can you have to get up there? How many different ways do you bridge the gap in your life? What are the ladders that you have? What do they look like? Is it being successful? Is it acquiring more things? Having certain kinds of relationships? Doing all the right things is your ladder, or is maybe your ladder distracting yourself because you want to just avoid that there is a gap? We see an elaborate ladder system when you hear someone say, like, I'm trying to be a Christian, that is a clue that we don't get the gospel.
And that's honestly because the story of the Bible has never been about us initiating a relationship with God. God created us to be in a relationship with Him, not because He has a need, but because He wanted to share the fullness of what He had with us. God initiated a relationship with us first. And because there's a gap, God made a ladder by giving His Son Jesus. The story is not about how high we can jump or how we can do all the right things in order to have a relationship with God. The story is about how far God stooped down to reach us. The Christmas story is all about God bringing love down, making it accessible, being the one to make a way across the gap. Jesus makes love to be within our reach. The Bible talks about it this way. It says, the Word, meaning God, became human in Jesus and made His home among us.
Yeah. And maybe because I'm missing loved ones, I was drawn to the story of someone who had a near-death experience. And I don't know about you, but I'm a little bit skeptical of those kind of experiences. But this one guy was sharing, and it rings so true to what the Bible says, and it speaks to this God-sized hole that we have. He shares that the brief time when the paramedics said that his heart had stopped, he felt himself leave his body. And he saw a bright light, and it was very exposing. He found himself with God, giving an account for his life, and of everything that he had ever done, it was laid bare. And in that moment of total exposure, he said, I have never felt more loved in my life. This kind of loving acceptance from God is not reserved for heaven. We don't have to wait. Eternity doesn't begin after we die. Eternity begins now. There is no gap. This all-encompassing love is what we can know and experience now. This is what we celebrate. This is what we go crazy for about today. Jesus not only climbed down the ladder, he pushed over the ladder and said, I have come to be with you for always.
And he lived a perfect life, a life we could never live. He died the death we deserved so the gap of our sin would be covered. We could never reach God on our own efforts. Yeah. But he reached out to us just for the chance to know you. Mm-hmm.
For me, Christmas has always been about reaching. As a child, I remember reaching up high at the presents stacked in my parents' closet, but I was always just a little too small. I could never quite reach it. And there were years that there were gifts, they were just so expensive that we would reach down into our pockets, hoping we could afford them. But, as the years passed, reaching just became expected. We lost loved ones, we lost pieces of our family, and we just desired to have one holiday that was the way it was meant to be, but we never felt tall enough or rich enough or strong enough. Christmas was just one more thing out of reach, always about reaching. But there's this one thing, and it's a gift that exists that I want to reach more than anything. It's a gift that's this love. See, this love that goes deeper than the hurts that have happened to us. And this love, it's greater than the dreams that even we dream for us. It's a love that can redeem who we used to be. It can pull the pieces of our hearts back together, bring a second chance to us. And just when that love feels like it's just like everything else, like it's wrapped up and it's put in a place that's too far for me, God said, I'm bringing love down so that you can reach. And his overwhelming, never quitting, always there kind of love is there for even the weakest of us to receive. In the form of God's Son, a child who looks just like us. But he would grow up and he would heal lives and he would die for us, and then he would rise from the grave and he would show us exactly what true love was to us. A real love that shows us it is within our reach, and a new hope that is within our reach, so that this second chance can be something that we can reach, a second chance that can rebuild broken homes, that can rebuild broken families and broken hearts, that is within our reach. So now all of this Christmas and every day of my life is no longer about reaching. Now it's just about receiving. about holding and enjoying this love that was already brought down, that none of us are worthy of, that was given to us for free. This love that is within our reach.